Again, Bitcoin, it just continues to chop. I was pointing this out to members yesterday. How many times in recent history have we seen 4 days? I think this was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where price literally ended almost exactly where it began for 4 straight days. Monday, we had a little update. Today, we're seeing a little update here as well. But really, in essence,
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Gareth Soloway breaks down the latest crypto charts and macro data. Discover key levels, potential trends, and how they might impact your strategy. Tune in now for the full picture.
you're just stuck between this level and this level. Now, the reason I'm keeping this on my screen, this upsloping parallel, right, is because it's already shown that it's important, right? So here you hit here on the yellow line, you broke through, but then look, you hit it on the underbelly, hit it on the underbelly, kissed it on the underbelly, hit it again here, so that if we break above 108, 109,000 right here, right? So if we break above here, then you likely go up to that level and hit it again and then get rejected. On the downside, we know our level very clearly here is around 91 to 92,000. So this is the area here where the focus will be, and I'll continue to monitor that. Now, I did want to show one other chart because, again, I haven't gone over this in a long time, but the reason why I called the 108,000 area as a major pivot top is because if you go to your Bitcoin chart and you go out and you zoom out on your weekly, I want to show you this. This is how I came up with that. It wasn't like rocket science. I want you guys to be understanding is that what I'm doing is not like you don't have to have an IQ of 175, right? I mean, this is stuff that anyone can do. I just play connect the dots like I did when I was a kid, right? It is ultimately you take your high pivot here from 2017, you connect it through your highs of 2021, extend that line out, and literally you get your highs right here. I mean, notice again, what's so crazy about this, we made the first high at 108, and then we went a little bit higher. Remember, we went to like 109, and that was because that line was a little bit higher, and it rejected it again. And so the potential here is to just be clear. And listen, there's nothing that says it can't go higher. And by the way, look at the parallel down here. Perfectly aligns right along here. But the idea is that as a technician, until this level's broken, what can I logically deduct from these past highs? Major high of a bull market, major high of a bull market correction, another high in the bull market, and bigger correction. And so here you have 1, 2 again. And at this point, until proven otherwise, we know that this could be a major top on Bitcoin. I know big bullish players don't want to hear that. But again, my job isn't to speculate. It's to just say, okay, what has happened historically, and therefore it has precedence to potentially tell us something about this chart now. So again, those are the little things here. By the way, Ethereum continues to underperform here. If we take a look at Ethereum, basically it had the big flush down here. You can see the support here and this upsloping line merging. We got a bounce here. This is still the weekly chart, but if we go to the daily chart, you can see you're creeping up. Huge resistance on the daily now at 3,000. Down sloping trend line and flat bottom here. We broke down here, so therefore that level would be resistance and this area support. So resistance 3,000, support will be about 2,100 on Ethereum.
Bitcoin BTC recently encountered selling pressure, slipping from around $98,000 to $95,000 after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell emphasized a cautious approach to interest rate cuts. During his semi-annual monetary report to Congress on February 12, Powell made it clear that despite the current policy stance appearing less restrictive than it had been, the Federal Reserve sees no urgent need to lower rates. This has dampened optimism and risk on assets like Bitcoin, especially with new headwinds introduced by Donald Trump's tariffs, further weighing on the market sentiment. Investors now look ahead to the January Consumer Price Index (CPI) data, due on the same day, to gauge the next potential move for the leading cryptocurrency. Analysts project a monthly rise of 0.3%, and a higher-than-expected figure could prompt the Fed to maintain current rate levels for an extended period, suppressing Bitcoin's appeal. Conversely, a lower-than-expected CPI print might breathe life back into BTC, offering a slim chance for a short-term bounce. Still, macroeconomic concerns persist, with the Coinbase Premium Index returning to neutral after early February's surge. This gauge, which tracks U.S. investors' appetite for Bitcoin, has mirrored BTC's setback from $101,000 to $95,000. If the index sinks into negative territory, it could undermine a swift rebound for BTC in the face of waning market optimism. Finally, on-chain liquidity data suggests further choppiness, implying that Bitcoin may continue moving sideways within the $94,000–$100,000 range in the near term. Nonetheless, investors will likely monitor both Powell's stance and CPI results closely.
All right, let's go to gold here. Gold in the overnight. And this is really interesting, guys. So look at this. Now, again, this was a big pop overnight. We got as high as around 29.44, and now we have a reversal. Now, we didn't tag this upper line. That's okay. Not a big deal. We could pull back here and then go back up. But I've been watching for a signal because gold has been very, very overbought. In fact, in my Smart Money Commodities and Miners service, I actually initiated short on GDX. We've gone short gold right up in this range over the last couple days. And the idea being is that it's oversold. It's getting to the indicators are all signaling oversold. Overbought. I apologize. Overbought. And now if this holds today, this is a topping tail. And topping tails are bearish reversal signals. And what are the categories of a topping tail? Well, number one, it has to be at the highs of recent history. This is all-time high. And you have to have a long tail on top, or wick, and it has to close in the lower 25% of the candle. So we have to obviously see if that happens. Does it close here today? Does it close somewhere, let's say, below 2,900? But if it does, then you have a topping tail, and the probabilities now flip to a reversal to this level, which would be a retrace to the scene of the crime, right? Former pivot high becomes technical support, and if that were to break, then right here. But this should actually hold. This will be where I cover a lot of the shorts on gold here. And you guys know, listen, I'm a huge bull on gold. If you ask me mid to long term, huge bull still. Still think it's going well over $3,000 an ounce. Doesn't mean I'm not going to swing trade it in the shorter term, right? I'm a swing trader, all right? So again, I have my long-term position, sure. But my swing trade, again, now signaling short, and I am short in the services with members. Let's look at silver. Now, silver's been struggling. Again, silver now ducking down. Notice this level here. It could never break through, and down it comes. So it had this bullish pattern. It broke out, retraced, then went up, hit resistance, which was this former pivot, rejected. Now it should come here. If it breaks here, you actually go all the way down there. By the way, palladium, we could take a look at palladium real quick. I know a bunch of you guys love palladium. I actually do too. Palladium's on the verge of a potential little breakdown here, so just be aware. Like silver, if this really confirms below this upsloping line, it could go back right here around 858, 850, give or take. This is a huge level, though. And then notice how this trend line, these two trend lines are coming close together. This, to me, becomes a very major accumulation zone right here if it gets there. So I'll be watching very closely on that. Oil, guys, again, I'm out of my shorts on oil, and that continues to be the right decision. I didn't get too greedy on it. We took it off right over here. It then pushed a little bit below and then has now started to rally higher. In fact, some of the oil services plays and drillers, they actually look pretty bullish on the charts. Now, the question is, how high can this go? The level where I start maneuvering for a short on this again would be using this high to these lows. There's a 618 Fibonacci right at this area right in here. That would probably right around 77. I would start nibbling again, knowing that I have protection right up here, major resistance. And again, expecting overall a weaker U.S. economy over the next 3 to 6 months. Now, the only caveat here is, and this is probably why oil is getting a bid, is because you also have China that's starting to put up a few economic numbers that may tell us a turnaround is coming.
Solana priced tumbled over 6.25% in the last 24 hours, hovering around $194.50 on February 12, due to a crypto market sell-off triggered by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's hawkish stance. The Fed's stance on delaying interest rate cuts has increased caution among investors, prompting them to switch from risk-on assets. Meanwhile, daily transactions on the Solana blockchain plummeted from 71,738 on January 23 to roughly 23,835, reflecting waning interest in the DeFi ecosystem. Additionally, the memecoin craze that helped fuel Solana's growth has cooled, with a drop in market cap for tokens like Official Trump. Solana's head and shoulders pattern hints at a potential further decline toward $109 and 21 cents if it breaks below the $180.50 neckline. However, if SOL holds above this support, a rebound to the $215 local high remains possible, offering a glimmer of hope to bulls. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.